This guy said, give me a hard username. My name is Juan. And the comments are somebody said 1,000 pounds. I can't even say it. 1,000 pounds. One inch, no.
And boom, monkeys, we are live. Welcome back to the Crypto Boogie channel with Tacos and Kimchi, episode numero 38 with my amigo, Mr. Angry Twinksters. What is going on, homie? How you been?
Doing all right, man. How about yourself?
I'm alive, bro. Been a busy week, like always.
Yeah.
Decent amount of people here in the chat, man.
Yeah. I suspect people, just looking for something to do before they get S-faced for, the observation of our victory in the war of insurrection.
Yeah, dude. Oh, happy Insurrection Day, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm probably gonna pop some fireworks tomorrow, man. I love popping fireworks. This is one of the badass things about Texas, bro. You can pop a shitload of fireworks, little to no regulations, man.
Yeah, largely the same up here in New Hampshire.
Yeah. Since I live by the border, man, sometimes people will bring over something called palomas. Palomas, they're like made out of newspaper, bro, but they're full of like the powder that they used to make fireworks, dude. They're huge, dude. And dude, the bang on those things. They bring them over from Mexico, of course, dude. I haven't popped one in a long time, man. They are fucking loud. They will shake the windows on your neighbor's house, bro.
Yeah. Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, man. They're freaking powerful, dude. They're freaking powerful as hell, dude. A lot has been happening, man. Big beautiful bill went across.
Yeah. There's definitely that. House was talking about crypto week and some other different elements. There's been some bills filed for like a de minimis amount up to $300. Basically, anything like under $300, don't even bother reporting or recording type situation. So, side note, I was not necessarily aware of this term until like many other people. There was talk of tariffs, and then overnight I became a tariff expert on the internet. As how those things typically go. But some of the elements in some of those shipping bills were elimination potentially of like de minimis exemptions. Long story short, if it's below a certain amount, it's like so inconsequential, on paper or not worth our time, so we don't care about it. So Senator Cynthia Lummis there, she filed a bill to have a crypto de minimis value of I believe it's $300, and also eliminate aspects of double taxation on staking and yielding. So I haven't gone through like the full proposal, but I did catch the headline. So I need to dig into that a little bit more over the weekend just to understand what else is in that bill.
Yeah, I do understand that. Well, in other news, and I'll bring it back to finances, bro. But we do know that in the big beautiful bill, they removed the tax stamp for suppressors and for short barrel rifles, which is awesome. But it's not exactly what gun owners wanted, man. We wanted the NFA completely eliminated for short barrel rifles and, of course, suppressors. And, of course, gradually we can move into the whole machine gun thing, bro. Do it step by step. We couldn't do it all at once. So the only thing we really got was no taxes on suppressors, no taxes on short barrel rifles, which now opens the door for the gun owners of America to file a lawsuit and argue the fact that it shouldn't even be on the NFA if it's not something that even collects taxes. So now they've got grounds to bring it up through the courts and possibly get something done, bro. Maybe by the end of the year, we'll get the end of next year or like late next year, we could probably end up getting rid of the NFA aspect of suppressors and short barrel rifles, which would be pretty cool. I think that'd be pretty gangster, man. I like that.
Some progress is better than no progress, right? Some progress, slow progress, generally speaking, better than no progress. So certainly, it's frustrating that we have to go through a lot of these micro steps, I guess, to get from point A to point B versus like, hey, I talk about this in like, my professional life. All right, we as an organization, like regardless of what we say, look at what you do, not what you say, right? The purpose of a system is what it does in many cases.
Yeah.
We say, we want to do things a certain way and like of a certain caliber and of a certain standard. And I get it, right? Like time, cost, delivery mechanisms, all these different pressures. How is it that we don't have time to do a lot of this stuff right the first time and do it right once, but we've got time to do it a dozen times over? And I think about it like that a lot in a lot of aspects of life. It's like, all right, you don't have time to do it right now, which I can kind of understand. Like you need to band-aid it or like, you know, get it good enough and like keep it moving. But you're going to come back to it 5, 6, 7, dozen, 2 dozen, 5 dozen times. Should have just done it right the first time. Unless it's like absolute life or death type situation, right? Yeah.
I concur, man. And I can understand frustrations from libertarians, bro, as to why things don't get to, why don't we just do it now? Why don't we just do it now? I get it, man. I get it, bro. It is fucking annoying, Twinkie, when we can just fucking things get over and done with. Some other aspects of the big beautiful bill, which kind of annoyed me, is no tax on overtime up to about $12,500, $25,000 if you're married filing jointly. And then I think it's up to $25,000 for tips or $20,000 for tips. That's right up front. But that doesn't mean on your overtime that you're not going to get it deducted from your check. You get relief at the end when you file your taxes at the end of the year.
Interesting. Yeah. I like many cases of politics, right? Like there's a lot of hype, a lot of promises, and reality ends up being scaled back. Or in the case of different, like pork barrel bills, like quite the opposite direction, depending on what you're specifically looking at.
Yeah.
To me, it's frustrating to, all right, like let's meander for a hot minute here. You know, USA number one. What is it? We send like what, $4 billion plus to Israel every year, yet they've got like what? Yes, I want to acknowledge they have compulsory mandatory military service for the IDF, but like, don't they have effectively free healthcare and free education system? And how many times have they backed us up in assorted, global challenges? Yeah.
I get it, man. Not to mention what we sent over to fucking Ukraine and shit, that to Zelensky and all those fucking dude, all the fucking oligarchs, bro, from Ukrainian politics, bro, ended up buying new fucking vehicles and shit, bro.
Yeah, and I understand again global politics, and a lot of these things are complex systems. I don't understand why the notion of America first and foremost for Americans.
Yeah,
it's like, what do I know, man? Less than nothing most days.
Oh, enough of that, man. I mean, it is going to rally the markets, nevertheless. I have heard. I was driving around last night, and I have heard of this. I couldn't, you know me, Twinkie. I can't text and drive. I can't drive and read. So I noticed that they're coming after Jerome Powell lawfully now.
I'd caught some news on that. I honestly didn't dive that deep into it. For the 30 seconds I looked at Twitter today, I had a decent amount going on elsewhere. Yeah, I thought they were trying to pursue him with was it investigations related to Fannie Mae, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think it was.
That. So they're trying to get him. They're trying to get him off fucking not the SEC. He's not with the SEC.
The Fed.
The Fed. Yeah. They're trying to get him off the Fed by utilizing that method. Hey, fuck it, dude. Get that motherfucker off, bro. We need this fucking market to pump, bro. I'm saying.
And I'm going to be like transparent in my beliefs on this. I think, yes, I want my bags to pump. Yes, I would like to have more financial and economic firepower than I have today. Make no mistake about it. Like, my personal assessment is rates come down. Inflation in the system's inevitable. Like, I think the big beautiful bill, the prediction is it's going to grow by like multiple trillions. I think it was like, I saw a Polymarket earlier today, it was something like 90+%. We're going to have like 40 trillion in debt by the end of the year. I think personal opinion, I think the death spiral has already passed us by.
It's inevitable.
We're in it. We're surfing it. We're in it. Right.
There's no reversing it, bro. Yeah. I agree.
And so, I recognize we got some folks that are maybe like landlocked elsewhere. If you haven't been like, out in the ocean with like big waves, sometimes you can't fight that stuff. You just got to ride it and kind of use it to guide you from point A to point B. Like, be it for people who are on boats and sailing, people that are surfing, some other activities. Sometimes you just got to go with the flow and flow with the go. If you're met with a superior force, a lot of times if you try to resist it, it's just going to crush you. So you got to try to find a way to ride it.
Yeah.
And my understanding is they cannot boot him or get him removed unless they can find a way to argue for cause. And I'll have to defer to actual lawyers on the full meaning of that. But this to me seems like they're digging around and trying to find sufficient for cause to make him go away.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, Twink. You heard me say this multiple times, bro. Like, dog, I don't give a fuck who you are, bro. You got the most powerful man after the world fucking talking shit to you, bro, on socials. And he's very powerful on socials, bro. It's going to cause your blood pressure to go up, bro. It's going to cause you fucking to get restless nights. It's going to cause you to fucking not fucking go to bed with your wife, bro, and knock out and get good night's sleep, bro. Like, dog, that's all going to, it's all going to fucking compound, bro. And that may cause him to fucking leave and retire early, bro. I want that motherfucker out of there, bro. I'm saying, if anything. But I do concur with you, Twinkie. It's inevitable, bro. I mean, dude, the way that is, it's unstoppable. And the best thing we can do is just figure out ways for when the crash comes, how to fucking survive that crash and be ahead of everybody else. You know what I mean? The good thing is that we're awake about this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's so many people there who got like blinders on and they know or sense something is wrong, but they might not be able to point at reasons why other than, hey, like, okay, they understand inflation went up, but what does that actually mean to them, right? And that's kind of like, okay, continue to explain yourself. And you'll see a lot of people just, they recognize something's wrong. They maybe just don't have the vocabulary or subject matter familiarity or expertise to be like, hey, I think all these things are broken, culminating in my life sucks way worse than it did 10 years ago. And it's way worse than my parents or grandparents. So where I'm going with this is, if those numbers start running up and they start printing again, that value, like the nominal value or the numbers, are going to flow into assets. We are all here largely speculating digital assets are going to be one of the huge categories that benefit from it, aka Bitcoin, ETH, and then from there, altcoins are effectively leverage on those different kinds of movements. So where I'm going with this is, I think asset prices are going to continue to climb. We might see some sort of dip or flattening. And then people potentially buying homes or making other moves. But then as more buying pressure comes in, those numbers go up. And yes, we are banking on us having digital assets that's going to help us out and be more beneficial. For folks who are not kind of in position, I think they're fucked. Like, I think, basically if you're not eyes open and playing the game and at least they're going to be trillions of dollars of economic energy flowing around. If you don't at least got a net or a sale up in that to try to catch some of that, I think you're fucked. Like, can't imagine somebody in late teens, early 20s, thinking about like home ownership. They're probably going to need to wait 7 to 10 years, right? They got to wait for the boomers to die off and stuff to change hands.
Yeah, man. And dude, when that crash comes, man, and dude, it's crazy because you got a shitload of normies, bro, living in the middle of fucking metropolitan cities, bro. Own no weapons, own no food, own no medical supplies, bro. Own no bullets, own no fucking financial assets, bro. Own shit, just living a normie life, bro. Paying the bills, fucking living from paycheck to paycheck, dog. Oh my gosh, bro, this shit's gonna hit the fan. When that happens, if it happens, and I'm hoping it doesn't happen within our lifetime, Twinkie, dog. Shit, it's gonna hurt, homie. It's gonna hurt, man.
For sure, right? I think several studies have indicated you're basically 3 days away from societal collapse if power goes out, right? And not that power is necessarily going to go out. I would hope not, but certainly you've seen that happen in places like Katrina, New Jersey, other places. Up here was a little different. I was swapping some messages with somebody in I think it was the Citadel earlier today, talking about, 15, 20 years ago, there was a nasty ice storm up in the northeastern corridor. Net impact. A lot of the power substations took so much damage, they went offline. And there were people up here who were like 30 plus days in the middle of winter, no power.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people forgot what that's like.
Yeah. I'm old enough to remember, just culturally, hey, you always had a certain stockpile of food in the cupboard and dry goods. And, I could probably do 3 or 4 days here without power before okay, now I got to start bolting down and ratcheting down. But 30 plus is most people, even if you have backup fuel for a generator, you're not going to be carrying a month worth of supply on that. That would be very, very unusual up here. You might have a few days, maybe a week, but to think hey, I'm going to be running stuff for a month plus, very, very unlikely. And then because substations are offline, power lights are out, transformers are smoked. There's any electronic system is offline. So very interesting to see. Shout out to Tegan, man. 100 days without her like power after hurricanes, not fun. So Tegan knows what's up, right? Different climate, right? So like up here in the Northeast, the prep, like things I got to have ready to go for something like losing power in the middle of summer, way not pleasant, way more palatable than losing power in the middle of winter. Middle of winter, pipes start freezing, bursting. Like there were people had homes condemned as a result of this stuff.
Yeah, I think it was that one cat, man. What's that one cat? He's got like a handlebar mustache, bro. He's a big time Mexican. Lit.
Yeah. The like power coach guy. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Lit. I don't know if he's still streaming, bro. Shout out to him, Lit. If you're watching this, shout out to you, man. I remember he was talking about the God whale and how the God whale one time before he went to the U.S. Navy and became a corpsman, dude, he was homeless, and there was a point in time where he got wet and temperatures fell below fucking 29 degrees, bro. He had to sneak into somebody's garage, bro, to fucking survive, dude.
Yeah, bad news bears. I need to go away. Right. So, final quick one on that one. Like, I know Richard's posted about this, but slightly different scenario. I was going to buy my cup of coffee this morning. A lot of times, like I majority of time work remotely. Sometimes I'm on the road, but majority of time I work remotely for my daytime gig. And so I like to go get a cup of coffee at the local joint just to get out of the house sometimes. And I was thinking about this like the other day as I was like paying, and every time I'm paying like, with plastic these days, I think about this a lot. Either if I'm paying through like their native app because you get a discount, or I'm paying with, my card on something. It's insane to me these days, and this goes back to like tax on tips and cash. The majority of a lot of what I do, and I see other people around me do, is I effectively cannot pay you as the vendor without going through my financial institution and at least one intermediary corporation, if not two, like the company, their payment processor, which will get back to that, like the employees' banking system, so that they can have funds on their side. There's all these extra middlemen, whereas before it used to be like, yo, here's cash, bam.
And that's where crypto shines, my friend.
That's where crypto shines.
Yeah, man. Give them some, I don't know, man, some fucking XRP or some shit. Some fucking Doge. You know what I mean?
Something, man.
You know what I mean? Well, Twiggy, this intro has been about almost 19 minutes long.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll shut up here. I got one last one for you. And so like I need to go to the conspiracy theory route a little bit. Totally different direction.
I'm all
totally
about
different. Oh, okay. So you've heard the whole thing, like Macron's wife was a dude who groomed him, right? Like this whole speculation on the internet. And I think like visually there's a pretty compelling argument. You know, like Emmanuel Macron, president of France, his wife is like 30 years older than he is or something crazy.
Yeah, she got a big ass dick, man, from what I hear.
Yeah. So the surgeon that called that out, and like I've seen some different reports, like minimally linked to all the speculation, was found dead after he fell out of his window this week.
Oh wow, bro! The surgeon that actually worked on him.
I don't think it was the surgeon that worked on it, but I think it was a surgeon like who's probably qualified to say like, yo, I think this is a dude.
Yeah, bro. Fucking, it was Candace Owens that recently released the data. I don't know if you heard Twinkie. I'll have my like prep meal, bro, while I listen to her talk. And she was talking about how she actually received a call from the president, from Donald Trump himself, asking if she could stop talking about the issue. And he told him, well, like, dude, she looks like a female to me, man. I don't know. I mean, Candace, are you sure she's a guy? And she said, well, I'll name the surgeon. It's this type of surgeon that she's using. And she named the name of the surgeon, bro. And she goes, this is the guy, he's an expert at this shit. And yeah, man, Trump was like, dude, the reason Trump asked her to stop talking about it is because Macron was holding up the fucking peace talks between Ukraine and Russia, as he was a key element to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mysteriously, allegedly dies by suicide, taking, like a backflip out the 12th floor window.
Yeah. I don't want to get too much deep for this stream.
No. Anyway, like that popped up on my feed. I was like, that's wild. And what are the odds, right? Like, I'm sure they got some tips from the Clintons.
Yeah, probably, dude.
All right. We're all over the place.
Dude, what's up? The ultra powerful and the ultra rich, bro. Dude, some of them, I mean, I'm not referring to Trump, but like, dog, they are some wicked people, bro. Wicked people, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Who was it? I think it was Cody Sanchez, who I follow for like some small business stuff. She's like, hey, honestly, like if you look at like a lot of your multimillionaires in the US, a lot of them have small to mid-sized businesses that tend to operate on a more regional level. And especially with boomers aging out, they're probably going to have some real service business opportunities on the horizon. So I follow her just like for ideas, like, it's like some of it's like not glamorous, but, straightforward stuff like, okay, HVAC, paving, seal coating, power washing. Like, okay, do the business and then like scale it out. And okay, interesting ideas. Just kind of like looking at future opportunities, especially if I have more economic firepower to roll into other opportunities in the future. But she was posting, I think it was Cody Sanchez. Like one of her mentors is like, after you start talking like 300 plus mil, like your life warps, because she's got some 100 millionaire billionaire friends.
Elaborate. What did you mean by that?
Nothing is off limits, and you're basically really detached from reality. And your money is so vast, and your wealth so vast that the rate of growth, in a lot of ways, will radically, just completely exceed your ability to spend it.
Yeah. Well, Pinky, you and I were talking about this a couple of days ago. You had mentioned that after making 75,000, Jordan Peterson cited this, or 65,000, your life doesn't really get any better. I beg to differ, man. Dude, I've heard Tate talk about this, and I've heard other people talk about it. Dude, say if you want to live like the maximum human experience, bro, you'd spend I'd say like about 25 million a month, bro, to live your maximum human experience. Of course.
I don't know, right? Just because I'm not in in that position. I know what it's like to be like, fucking broke as fuck, and like, just trying to find a place to sleep. And like, I've slept on billiards tables, like, cement floors, the great outdoors. You know how it goes, man.
You know what's wild, Twinkie? The best game I had with the ladies, bro, is when I was the most broke, bro.
Because that's all you got, right? You're gonna have an overdeveloped, like that's all you got.
Yeah, my game with chicks, bro, was on fucking point, bro. I was fucking picking up 8s, 9s, bro. Like, dog, like it was easy, but I ain't got no money. Ain't got no money.
Yeah. You were good with a hook, Dude, where are we going with this?
This is a badass dream, dude. That's where we're going.
Yeah, we're all over the place. Well, we promise we'll get to some like crayons, colors, and numbers and stuff here in a minute. Where am I going with this? Billy Corgan's talked about this like on the Joe Rogan podcast. I'm a big Billy Corgan fan musically. I like love the Smashing Pumpkins, love that band, love their drummer. Side note, a few years back, I took some of my crypto earnings and I actually took a drum lesson from their drummer. Cool. So that's like one of the cool experiences I used my gains to facilitate, because Jimmy Chamberlain. Yeah, Jimmy Chamberlain. I'll post a few things up on my Twitter, but Corgan was talking about like, we make all this money, and he's like, I walk in, it's like a 23-year-old. Hey, I'd like to buy, a Ferrari. And they're looking at him like, he's kind of like, wearing this fur coat, and he's kind of a weird, gangly looking dude. And they're like, how would you like to pay for it? Kind of dismissive. And he's like, he opens up his jacket and just drops stacks, and he's like, in cash. And like, oh, we're happy to serve you, Mr. Corgan. But his point was like, they had the #1 record for many years. They had the best-selling double album of all time, selling out stadiums all around the world. They're like, nobody tells you no. And so you go through this experience of you got all this money, all this affluence, and everything is available to you. And then at some point in time, you've done all the things that like you wanted to do with that you couldn't afford or that money didn't have available to you. And so what's left? The only thing left is madness. And so you start doing progressively more insane things.
I've cited that before.
Yep.
I mentioned that you've reached the pinnacle, bro, of fucking pleasure that you start to get going into mass degeneracy, bro. You know
Yeah. Oh, okay. Speaking of degeneracy, first and foremost, we had to make enough gains to get to degeneracy. What do we got queued up tonight, Boogie?
Tonight we got some memes. Definitely got to hit those up, man. Got to acknowledge the people in the chat. Got 2 fragrances for you cats today. Man, fuck it. I'll fucking talk about the first one, man. Office for Men. Fucking Jeremy Fragrance. Let me take the spotlight on this one, Twinkie. Office for Men, bro. Very fucking office safe. Smells beautiful. I think it was made by not Oliver Cresp, bro. The guy that did Aqua de Joe, man. I can't remember his name right now. What the fuck is his name? I can't remember the name of the perfumer, bro, but he's the one that did Aqua de Joe, bro. He's from Spain. Very beautiful fucking fragrance, bro. Very beautiful, bro. A lot of compliments. Not really gym friendly. More for the daytime. Yes, you can rock it at night. This is more of a suit type fucking scent. But if you're working somewhere in an office, that'll do the job as well, man. It is expensive though. Go over to fragrance.one. Jeremy Fragrance is always posting fucking discounts. Just wait for one of the discounts to get it at half off, man. We got that. Got memes. Acknowledge the people in the chat. Coins we're going to cover today, Twinkie. We're going to keep it simple like we did last time, bro. Bitcoin, ETH. We're going to do some Sui Sonic, and we're going to end it with a little bit of Hex, dude. Hex right now hasn't been doing so beautifully, but of course it is what it is because, I mean, of course, ETH hasn't pumped, bro, and it's all pending on ETH. A lot of the altcoin fucking season is also pending on ETH. And I think we still got time, Twinkie. We still got time to fucking reverse things. Only time will tell if this altcoin run will be as profitable as the last ones. You know what I'm saying?
I think on paper it will, in the sense, like, I got a gut feeling. We can look at charts here in a little bit. If you look at stuff like Total 2, Total 3, others, some of those varieties, it'll show dollar increases for the altcoin market cap. I do think it's just going to be relatively increasingly concentrated into more of a winner-take-all environment. And by that, what I mean is we have way more altcoins in existence. So if I injected, I don't know, $1 billion in the altcoin market cap and we only had 10 coins, right? Assuming even distribution, that would be 100 million per going into each token, right? Which would be fucking bonkers. But we've got like 11D, quadrillion, gajillion, billion tokens this go around. So on the chart, right, it might look like, oh, like the total sector's gone up, but due to stuff like inflation in a given token or protocol and way more tokens being existed, way more tokens in existence, I think you're going to see that money, that economic energy is really diluted, except for the winners, and the winners will be increasingly take all.
Yeah, I agree, Twinkie. And like I said, man, you were telling me the other day, man, that a lot of the coins out there are just bullshit memes, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like meme season, kind of ran early in a lot of cases, and people made some fantastic money on that. A lot of people got slaughtered too. Yeah.
Well, let us move forward, Twinkie. Well, let's acknowledge at least the first couple moon gangers in the chat. Hexus, man. Hey, dude, first time been fucking number one on fucking number one, bro, as far as commenting goes. Shout out to you, man. We got Brandon. What's going on, amigo? How's it going, BLX? We got my other homie, Fear freaking Large and in charge. ¿Qué pasó, bro? Glad you're back. The Sheik, what's going on, homie? What's up, ninjas? Marcus, he's actually asking me, bro, have I smelled the new Trump fragrance before? I was actually thinking about buying 2 of them, Twinkie, so I could smell one and then just not open the other one. You know what I'm saying? I got
if you like it, you got it, right? Then you got a backup bottle. If you don't like it, you can flip it.
Yeah, exactly, man. Smooth Brain, what's up, dog? How you doing? What else we got here? Ramirez, of course, we saw his fucking comment, which is pretty fucking funny, dude. Powell won't be able to fucking get a hard-on with Trump stressing him. I concur, man. Pull up Parker 0 times, whatever that means. And Alex P, haven't seen you in a while, homie. I'm glad you're back. Good morning, Self Pressure. Who else we got? We got Tegan in here, man. And Ricky Romero, bro. Do you guys like the centrifuge coin? You heard about that one, Twinkie?
No, not familiar with it. Ricky, bro. I think this is like, everyone tells you this, bro. Like, get in the Citadel or get in a course if you're not in a course.
Yeah, man. Chosen, what's up, brother? How you doing, dog? How you doing, amigo? Hey, but Ricky, don't hesitate to keep asking questions, man. We got time. We'll try to help you out, bro.
Yeah.
I'm all about helping you guys, dude, because I've been there before, man. Chosen, he's stating, first time watching the live stream. Hey, man, I'm glad you.
Hey, we appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. Make sure you monkey subscribe to the channel. Fucking like this video. At the bottom, I've got Mr. Angry Twinkie's fucking socials. Make sure you follow him as well, bro. Drops good alpha. Probably one of the best fundamental analysts out there. Last stream we did, man, he actually broke it down to me as to how he actually runs his FA. It's pretty intriguing, man. So you guys want to learn some knowledge, apply a little bit of my TA, a little bit of fucking Twinkie's FA, bro. You'll make yourself a little fortune, dude. I think you can.
Well, okay. Quick pause on that one.
Sure.
Skills, right? Like investing in your own skills is probably the single highest ROI thing you can do, right? Okay, yeah, you might get take a long shot bet on something and it works out. On balance of probabilities, it's really unlikely. But if you invest some time, hey, building your TA, your FA, your on-chain, your networking skills. That compounds over time, right? Because like when you look at Boogie's TA, he didn't start there, right? That's the culmination of years worth of work and thousands of hours of practice and research and figuring out what works for him, what doesn't. Same thing with a lot of my process. I've gone through, I've tried a bunch of different things. I've figured out stuff that works, doesn't work, sometimes works under these conditions for me in conjunction with what I do with Boogie. So over time, though, that's compounded, and then I can spot certain opportunities, or Boogie spots certain patterns, and it's like, hey, it's a good entry. So invest some time into acquiring skills and knowledge, because that stuff, like short of, you getting your skull caved in with a pipe or something like that, people can't take that away from you.
Yeah, I concur, bro. I was telling Twinkie the other day, God forbid, and we don't do that fabulous, bro, this fucking bull run. God forbid. You know what I'm saying? Dude, during the bear run that will be coming, bro, you better believe I'm going to be making some bank, bro, on some of the trades I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been practicing and I continue practicing. So the more you know, bro, the more options you have. And the more options you have, bro, the more opportunities to make some dinero. You're not fucking just stuck on only making money on the bull run. You know what I'm saying? So food for thought, cat.
It takes time. It takes time, like to get good at anything takes time. I also was talking with Tony O and some other folks today, like about like math, because we were talking about like calculus and accounting in some of the chats. I think people overestimate the amount of time it takes to get reasonably good, like novice to intermediate at something. Yeah, expert level takes a lot longer. It's a lot friggin' harder. The curve goes like this, right? Where it's going to take you radically more effort for smaller percentage gains. But to get to like that middle band, like to go from 0 to that middle band, way less effort than most people would anticipate. And so for anyone like, okay, like let me come back. Ricky, if you want to drop a couple lines in the chat about why you're eyeballing Centrifuge, just let me know and I can somewhat address that over the course of tonight's stream. My point here is, let's hypothetically say 20 hours. What if you took 20 hours, an hour a day for the next 20 days and sank it into TA? First thing in the morning, get yourself a cup of coffee, cleared my schedule, got up a half hour earlier, and I'm going to do 1 hour focused every day of TA. Where do you think you would be in 20 days? What kind of skills would you have acquired? What knowledge would you have acquired that you can then subsequently parlay into everything you do from day 21 onward?
Exponentially, bro.
Yeah, I don't think it's like people get hung up on the 10,000 hours to mastery. You don't need to be like, I'm not going to sit here and knock mastery. You don't need to be a master at it. You need to be good enough to keep progressing forward and continually getting better. And really, you need to be good enough to make majority winning decisions, either majority on decision time or primarily majority of positive outcome. So yes, you were right 49% of the time, you lost 51%. That 49% was so good that it made you insane amounts of money. At some point in time, you got to take the risk.
Yeah, I concur, man. So always try to fucking expand your fucking knowledge, bro. Especially, dude, it's awesome. I mean, already having some form of knowledge as you approach the bear run as well, man. You know what I'm saying? Because make some money on shorting a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Not fucking, don't leverage yourself out, though. This is not financial advice, monkeys, by the way. None of this is financial advice. It's only for educational purposes. Oh, yeah. All right, let us move forward with the memes, Twinksters.
Let's do it.
Got some badass memes, and I feel like getting demonetized today. You know what I'm saying?
Delightful.
Let us see. Make sure I got everything on fucking par. Here we go. Now, for you monkeys, especially fucking large and in charge, bro. For you guys that have seen Blood In, Blood Out, bro.
You know me, I always find my way back to these lost homes.
Dude, it's amazing what they're doing with AI, bro. Now, this is supposed to be Benjamin Bratt, bro. And, of course, they would call him El Gallo Negro, Twinkie. That means the black rooster. He's a boxer, you know what I'm saying? But he's also like a cholo and shit like that, bro. But check this out.
Try to be like you, I can't.
Here we go.
Try to be like you, I can't. Your life would drive me crazy.
Órale, the Pillsbury Dope Boys back in town.
Back for good, Holmes. Get down.
What's happening, man? Thought you was never coming back, eh? You know me, I always find my way back to these lost homes. So what's up? You couldn't hang with your wife or daddy or what?
Dog, it is amazing what they're doing with fucking AI, Twinkie. It's nuts, dude.
Yeah, the tools are just getting better and better, and it's going to continue to get... okay, this is obviously very sensational, but like when it comes to any sort of realistic person, it's just going to get harder and harder to tell.
Yeah, eventually, bro, you're going to need other AIs to tell if it's fake or not. You know what I'm saying? And of course, the media is going to twist that to what
Blockchain verification, right? Like that's what it's going to be, right? Like is it proof of personhood, and maybe that's too risky for the current level of blockchain tech, but maybe that's relatively safe for proof of AI. Like this is like this was generated by this particular protocol or tool, and here it is on the chain, so we know that this is definitively fake.
Yeah, that's gonna be fabulous for fucking crypto as well, bro. You know what I'm saying. All right, moving on, bro. Fucking this is pretty funny, bro. My Tinder date, after telling her I was taking her to Olive Garden, my 780 horsepower vehicle. Dude, how awesome is that? He gets to take his date, bro.
Tank. Yeah.
The look on her face, dude, like what the fuck's gonna happen, dude? This was probably gonna get me fucking flagged, but fuck it, bro. It is what it is, man. So this is a meme, bro, on people getting involved in accidents. So here we go. Dog, what the fuck, dude? Talk about perfect timing, dude. Oh my god, oh my goodness, bro. So that covers the memes, monkeys. That is the memes for now. We're gonna move on to the pretty colors and fucking pretty squiggly lines on the fucking chalkboard. So let us move forward, man. You know what I'm saying?
I got one quick one before we hop in. For anyone who's kind of following along on the stream, obviously you'll see myself periodically and a bunch of other streamers pull up TradingView. They are running an Independence Day sale for like the next 3 days, I believe. It is something like up to 80% off right now. So if you don't have a TradingView account and you're thinking about getting one, go get one. I don't have referrals. I got 0 commissions, but it is a super useful tool, not just for crypto charting, but for other stocks, commodities, equities charting, and the like. And so highly recommended you get one. It's, like $20 to $50 a month, depending on what you're doing.
Yeah, man. Dude, I can't live without TradingView, bro. I wait for Black Friday, though.
Yeah, same. Like I'm just like on that schedule where I just buy it on every year.
Yeah, dude. Black Friday, bro. I fucking up all my shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Ricky Romero, I don't do shorts or longs because I feel I will get addicted to it. I'm already addicted to DCAing every penny. Dude, you got to read the book Market Wizards, bro, or Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, bro. It's all about controlling your emotions, homie. And it's part of trading, homie. It's part of fucking DCAing too, believe it or not. You know what I'm saying?
I just take LSD and beta blockers. It's not financial advice, life, or health advice.
Yeah, man. Fucking Broad looked pretty hot, man. The fucking Eastern European girls, bro, got hit pretty damn hard, bro. And that one cat, you look Mexican, dude. Got hit pretty fucking hard, flipped upside down, bro. Hey, he likes AC/DC. It is what it is, man. Cheers to that guy. I concur with you, fucking Moonpill Rational Optics.
Rhino, it's pretty interesting. I think, like, not maybe not interesting is not the right word. Just not being overweight, right? Like, it's like an instant several point advantage in specifically North America.
Yeah, dude, majority of, I think about 40% of American population is doggone overweight, if anything, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I know, like, for the military, that's definitely presenting assorted issues, like trying to find fighting age, like fit enough males.
The Army, I think the Army, Navy, and Air Force were having problems finding people, bro. The Marine Corps always met its thresholds, bro. The Marine Corps always been fucking locked tight on getting people recruited. That's a badass thing about it. But after we got Pete Hegseth, man, dude, we're getting people back in, bro. I think they're even contracting, bro. Quote me on this. The guy that did the movie Top Gun Maverick to go ahead and start working on the recruiting commercials. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would not be surprised because why not? And I wonder if more physically fit, capable individuals go to the Marine Corps out the gate overall.
Or criminals that don't want to go to jail.
Yeah, whatever works, right? But like,
I got a couple of those, dude. I know a couple of those guys.
Yeah. Like, hey, judge gives it. Listen, son, here's the deal. Yeah. Anyway, where are we going with this? So, like, yeah, just not being wildly overweight, instantly in North America gives you a few extra points. What was it? I think I saw the other day, like, the average female in North America these days is like 170 pounds. And that's not like a lean, mean 170 pounds. It's like, that's not an athletic 170.
Yeah, dude. And she's about 5'3", 5'4", you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So since we're speaking about commercials, Twinkie, I can't help it, dog. I can't help it.
Yeah,
dog.
we're all over the place tonight.
Fuck
USA
it.
number one.
Yeah, this is the commercial that I had, bro, when I joined them. This is a commercial I saw when I was a child. Can you see this, Twinkie?
I remember this commercial, yes.
I don't think I'm sharing my screen.
I can see it. Yeah, I got it.
This is from the chessboard, bro. I remember this shit, dude. The shit they would do for us back in the day, dog. Dog, it's like old school, bro.
To compete, you've got to be strong. To win, you've got to be smart. Maybe you can be one of us, the few, the proud, the Marines.
I remember that shit. You remember that shit, Twinkie, from back in the day?
I remember the commercial, and I remember thinking, too, at the time, there was a PC game back then called Battle Chess, and I suspect whoever came up with the commercial idea was heavily influenced by it.
Probably, bro. Probably, dude. That's fucking old school shit right there. Well,
Yeah. Back in the day of broadcast TV and, like, squiggly lines and like CRTs and like the TVs like had all that glass, right? They weren't like this. They were like this back in the day. Anyway, cool. All right. We ready to start talking about, more colored lines and market moves and whatever else?
Yeah, I remember. Well, I think I have to throw this in there. I remember. I talked to the Marine Corps recruiter, and I won't tell you the entire story, but he was like, "You got any friends that want to join, bro? The Marine Corps?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got a couple of homies, man. Dude, if they've been charged with anything, bro, we'll go talk to the DA and get the charges dropped. As long as they're not convicted, we'll go talk to the DA. As long as they sign the contract that they're gonna go to boot camp, because our boot camp fucking sucks. I'm telling you the truth, it fucking sucks. And that's like doing 4 years in prison, man. Just with our boot camp alone. So bring them on, man, and we'll fucking get the charges dropped. Like, okay, bro. That was the Marine Corps back in the day, dog.
Yeah.
Hey, they wanted mean killing machines, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I know you and I have talked about it off stream. John McPhee, the Delta Force guy, who's been been pretty prominent on assorted interviews. People like that, like if they don't wind up in the military, where are they going to wind up? Probably like in a prison system, but give them something constructive, productive to do and point them in a direction.
Yeah, man. A lot of the diehard gang members, bro, they were just redirected in the right way, bro. I think they'd be of excellent service to our military, dude, if they were trained correctly and brought up to physical standards correctly.
Yeah, standards, structure, right? Process, chain of command. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's move forward, man. Let's move forward, bro. It's gonna be an hour and a half stream, bro. We keep going like this, dog. All right, Bitcoin, man. Let's see where fucking beautiful Bitcoin's going. Take away our ugly faces, Twinkie, and go straight.
Yeah. Well, shout out to the S&P 500 putting in all-time highs this week.
Yes, it did. It pumped really hard from what I hear, man. Currently, it seems that we are about day numero 29 with the UTC candle, because, of course, it's been UTC about approximately 2 hours. We almost established a new cycle high today, Twinkie. You can see that we went up to about 108,586. On day 4, we went up to about 105. Wait a minute. We went to up 110,587 on day 4. Currently today, we are at 108,586. So we almost got to a new cycle high today, bro. I think by a little bit we didn't get a cycle high, but I think it's inbound, especially since you see the Bill Williams alligator printing in an upward fashion, man. Fractals are telling us that the last fractal we did get was to the downside, but it is on a wick and it's not trending in a downward fashion, man. So that fucking zeroes that out. If you look at our awesome oscillator, you can see that we reversed from the zero portion on the negative, and now we're starting to go positive. Currently, we're at about what, 2282 points, give or take, bro, on awesome oscillator. If we continue in this fashion, I'm assuming that we could get a cycle ending around day numero 45. That would put us around July 20th, give or take, bro. Tomorrow, as a matter of fact, I think the crypto mindset course starts, bro. So we should get some TA updates from Charlie as well, man. So for you cats don't know, I haven't been watching the Telegram chats. I think in the evening is going to be the first stream. No, it's not tomorrow. It's on Saturday. Tomorrow's July 4th. But if we push up to day 60, you're talking about maybe day Monday, August 4th, give or take, bro, when we would end up finishing our 60-day cycle. I think we got room to run. We'll probably pump to the upside. Let's see what the EMA ribbon is saying. EMA, for the most part, is still bullish. Not fanning out a lot, but nevertheless, we're still getting some fanning, so we should get a little bit of volatility since it's not too narrow. Let's see what it looks like on the weekly, man. Let's take off our fucking pretty colored lines here, man. And you could see that, of course, we have no resistance to the upside. EMA ribbon's fanning out, which is bullish. And then Bill Williams Alligator is also trending in an upward fashion for the weekly, which is pretty damn powerful. You know what I'm saying? But it does seem that we are fucking losing some steam here on the awesome oscillator, if anything, Twinkie. You got anything to add to BTC, man? There's not really much new data on it other than the fact that we reclaimed 110 today. You know what I'm saying?
No, nothing terribly significant over here. Just kind of watching stuff. I think there's some interesting backdrop information. Again, going back to stuff like Senator Lummis proposing a crypto tax bill for the $300 de minimis rule, ending double tax on mining and staking and the like. And what was the other one? Was House Crypto Week was, I think, the other announcement that came in. The U.S. House designates July 14th through the 18th as Crypto Week. We got the Clarity Act, the Anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act, and the Genius Act all in the wings. So that's a couple weeks out.
And Lumen's, I'm assuming she's a congresswoman or is she a senator?
Yes, isn't she a senator from Wyoming?
So, yeah. So they may have to go nuclear with that, bro. They may have to use the nuclear option to get that passed because it's going to require 60 votes. But then again, Twinkie, I've been saying for a long-ass time, man, dude, Democrats are not going to hold back and go in nuclear on you, bro, when it's their turn. So may as well just fuck it. They're not, bro. And this is something libertarians don't understand this, man. I love libertarians.
And conservatives too, right? Like,
yeah.
we like the whole principles argument.
Yeah, like we need to stand on principles, bro. We can't use the nuclear option. If you cats don't know, in order to get a bill passed in the Senate, you need approximately a supermajority vote of 60 votes. Well, the nuclear option, if you decide to use it with a simple majority of 51 votes, man, you can get anything passed. And Mitch McConnell, he was a conservative. He was a rhino Republican. He would state, I don't want to use it because then the Democrats are going to use it on us. Dude, you know damn well, bro, when the Democrats take power, they're going to use it as much as they can, when they want, how they want, bro. So why not do the same to them, bro, before they even get power? You know what I'm saying?
Look, those kinds of sporting contests only work when both sides play by the same rules and cheating is caught and punished, right? So outside of that, I sit there, and this is one of my gripes about the conservative wing or conservative party, whatever you want to ultimately call them. They've largely failed to conserve anything. We don't conserve on the budget. We don't conserve on more aspects of conservative, I think, positive social structure. What have they overall conserved? Okay, maybe we've conserved aspects of and even then, this is, I think, contentious, public lands and national forests and shout out Teddy Roosevelt. But what have they conserved otherwise? And it's we're going to stand on our principles. We're not going to do that. They would do it to us. They're going to do it regardless, man. And so you're going to take the L. And so
might as well do it now. Yeah. Dude.
Right.
That's what they don't understand.
If you don't survive the encounter, what's the point? What do you want your epitaph, right? And don't get me wrong, I think there's something kind of cool about this, but at the same time, the negative side of it, what do you want in your epitaph? He died doing the right thing. Cool. You still took that L. Now what?
Exactly, bro. Like I've mentioned before, Twinkie, Democrats are being as liberal as they are, bro. They got some fucking balls, bro. Like they went ahead and they went out of their way, bro, and arrested a fucking presidential candidate, bro. That was one of the most popular America's ever seen, and then arrested his attorneys, bro. Like, dog, they were trying to do shit. They got the guts to do it, and they're not scared to do things, man. That's one of the things Republicans are lacking, if anything, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Now, to play a little bit of the counter argument compared to what I just said, the one thing that does concern me is how hard the pendulum is swinging over the span of my life. It's just moving. My perception is it's moving more violently.
Yeah, it is. And you see large amounts of the male population, bro, getting fucking red pilled. Large amounts of the Gen Z population going back to church as well, man. Of the male Gen Z population going back to church as well. You're correct, man. We are swinging more to the right gradually, dude. And it's eventually going to have a fucking ripple effect into politics. Know what I mean?
Yep. Karn's got a great comment there, and then I guess we can get moving on this stuff.
Rhinos get off snatching defeat from victory.
100%.
Get off to snatching defeat. Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly, man. All right, let us move on to the next fucking token, boring ass ETH, bro. And of course, ETH seems like it's starting to make a little bit of a comeback. We had a little bit of a fucking bullish and golden candle about a day ago, give or take, man. Current value of ETH is at about $25.91. We really need to see ETH establish new all-time highs, man. And to get up there, bro, you're talking about, what was the all-time high for ETH, Twinkie? I think it's about $5,000.
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't recall what the all-time. I think it was like 4,500 to 5 previously. I'd have to let me pull up an ETH chart over here.
As the high, bro. 4108, bro. We still have a little bit of battle to the upside. I was reviewing this ETH chart that I do have here on the daily, man. We are approaching a fair value gap, which is a positive, and I am seeing overlap between a fair value gap on the daily and a fair value gap on the weekly at the range of about maybe 27.44 to about 27.24. So I'm expecting ETH to go somewhere around there, give or take, bro. EMA ribbon is entailing that we do have support, but not a lot of volatility, man. ETH has been dragging its ass a little bit. And if you look at this awesome oscillator here, Twinkie, I wanted you to notice something, bro. For the past while, bro, since fucking December 2024, ETH has been mostly to the downside on the daily chart, bro, on the awesome oscillator. Know what I mean? We've had multiple events where it's just been down and down and down and down. And you would think as it approaches up that it would fucking start reversing to the upside and go past the -0 into the positives. But for the most part, since December 2024 all the way, bro, to about April 25, bro, it's just been on the negative side of the awesome oscillator. Right now, it seems like we're starting to finally reverse to the top side. And you can see that we're starting to print a column that's actually positive. So let's see how much this fucking prints us to the upside. If anything, I do know a lot of whales have been buying ETH, bro. And it may be that they're still suppressing the price, bro, so they can still get good pricing on it while normies fucking dump their shit. And that wouldn't surprise me, Twinkie, because a lot of people do want to get their fucking hands on ETH, if anything. Bill Williams Alligator is indicating that we are starting to flip bullish. Of course, we are still pending on the fractal, and the last fractal we did get was the bottom side, but it is going to it is starting to flip to the top side as far as the Bill Williams Alligator goes. On the weekly, if I turn off all these fucking pretty drawings, you can see that the Bill Williams Alligator is actually fucking just fucking trading sideways or oscillating sideways. In other words, the mouth of the alligator is closed, dude, if anything. So not much data coming in on the weekly. It does seem like it wants to reverse on the awesome oscillator, but EMA ribbon is still negative. But the good news on the weekly is that we are above the EMA ribbon, or we have at least closed above the EMA ribbon, or we're going to close on Sunday. On the weekly, as long as we stay above it, that's a positive thing. Then we can use that to fucking pump to the upside, which I did want to show you monkeys a Bitcoin chart that I did dig up. It wasn't from Mags. It was from this cat. Let me show you guys a little thing. It is from Carl Moon, one of the guys I love sharing on fucking here on YouTube. Here you go. And this is the current chart right now. This was put up about 13 hours ago. We will soon find out if Bitcoin will be able to break out the vicious cycle and break the resistance during the summer. And you can see that every summer at the end of it is when we end up breaking out. Summer 2023, summer 2024, and we've got this pending in summer 2025. This is on the weekly though, and this is what it seems like. You can see that we're getting these. What are these called, bro? I'm at a loss.
Broadening wedge, right?
Yeah, there's another term for it, bro. Cones. The thing cheerleaders use, man.
Pom poms.
Not pom poms. The fucking they don't use microphones. They use that.
Some kind of, I don't know, horn
Yeah,
cone.
yeah.
I know what you're talking
They use
about.
those cones to talk. I forgot the name of those cones, and it's actually a term they use here, man. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. To me, that's like, I don't know, just like broadening wedge is what I would first pass.
For now, broadening wedge. I like using fucking actual things that I see because I remember it a lot easier, bro. But nevertheless, broadening wedges indicate that we are going to pump, bro. And this is what we're seeing on the weekly. And of course, you could see that if you see my cursor here, we always bounce off the top edge, bro, of the resistance line. And that's what we're expecting here once we do break out. The area that seems to keep compromising us is at about 110, give or take, ballpark, man. And I think we'll probably start an altcoin season once we get up to about 115. You know what I mean?
Boogie, do you have your BTC chart in the background still?
Thank you, Smooth Brain. Simple fucking word.
Thanks, Smooth.
Remember, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let me bring up my BTC chart, homie. Let me bring that up.
Moon, I like that. Moonpill's got a bull market horn. I like it.
Let me bring up that fucking chart. Present.
And while that's coming up, Ricky, do the guys help with an exit strategy? I think the community will help with an exit strategy, but you need to have a plan that's based on numbers, time, and overall market behavior. All right, so Bitcoin, Boogie, I know last time we were on stream, we were talking a little bit about this, that inverted head and shoulders.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I know some folks are not as much of a fan. It's looking pretty clean to me, right? Like it's an inverted head and shoulders inside of.
Yes. You could kind of sort of see it here, man. Let me go ahead and fucking. It's on the week. Let me see if it's more evident on the daily, but you could see it. Yeah, it's a little bit more evident on the daily. Let me take off all these fucking colors here and grab my fucking drawing tool.
Yeah, I'm not enough of like a heavy duty TA guy, but yeah, you got that inverted head and shoulders, appearing on that, and then like it looks like we're basically dancing around what I would call the neckline of that.
Let me use this chart, Twinkie, so it's a little bit more. There you go.
Perfect.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and can you just like kind of loosely scribble in a horizontal line, kind of on the top of that, like
yeah. So if we
across.
grab a trend line here, man, and this is the breakout point. This would be that breakout point right there.
Yeah. I mean, you can like either make it angular or kind of horizontal, but we're basically on the dance floor at this point in time.
Yeah, and we're quickly approaching it, man. So you could argue. Let me go ahead and fucking make the pixelation on this a little bit fucking thinner.
And this is my challenge when I start drawing on like charts and stuff like that. Am I seeing what I see, or am I seeing what I want to see? Which is why I start trying to find other points of confluence and other data elements.
Yeah.
But if you just slightly zoom out for 1 second, and I appreciate you entertaining the remote drawing session here. If you kind of connect those bottom points, you can see a trend in the bottom on the bottoms of the chart, like that descending element. So it's kind of like an inverted head and shoulders inside a broadening wedge.
Yeah.
Right. So like it's looking pretty promising to me.
And that's a pattern that we are getting from that. Now, mind you, if it takes, let's say it gets up over here, you're talking about $617 in order for us to start really getting into an altcoin run. I sincerely think that the psychological level of about 115, bro, is probably when we'll start getting our altcoin run, if anything, dude. The faster we fire Jerome Powell, the better. You know what I'm saying? As well.
Yeah. And again, right, like asset prices, if good news, if you hold Bitcoin and probably some of the primary heavyweight stuff, you'll probably do well. Bad news, if you don't already have assets, you're probably fucked. So and what's the weekly close we're looking for? If you flip it over to weekly.
Let me go back to that chart, Twinkie. You want me to put this on the weekly?
Yeah, it's totally fine. It's kind of like spitballing, eyeballing, right? All right, so we're on the dance floor at 109. So like,
yeah, we're at about 109,543 with the wick. We reclaimed a 110.
Look for that 110. Go USA.
Yeah, exactly. So EMA ribbon, bro, is bullish. So, dude, we're not gonna dip past this, dude. If anything, oh, Bollinger Bands. There you go. That's perfect right there. First standard deviation on the weekly would put us at about 117. So it's ballpark around the range of about 113 to about 117, give or take, on the weekly if we utilize Bollinger Bands. That's when we'll probably get an altcoin run if the Lord permits. You know what I mean?
Yeah, here we go.
So I hope you guys DCA'd in, bro. And I know we're way, way past due, bro. Hands down, of course, this is the first time I've ever been in this portion of the waters within the crypto space. I've never been at this point, if anything, dude, as far as knowing the data that I know now, as far as TA and shit, because I got into crypto in 2021 of May. That's when I got into crypto. So ever since then, this is brand new waters for me. This is the first time I've ever been in waters. Unlike DCC and Charlie, bro, and other dudes that have been here before, bro, dog, or like motherfucking, what's his name? Of course, Richard Hart and everybody else. You know what I'm saying, dude?
Yeah, some of the OGs. Yeah, I threw some cash in 2017, wrote it down. I was like, all right, I'm just going to park it because I think this thing's kind of got a future. I did not, in retrospect, I wish I had bought a lot more because I vividly remember I was on the streets of Dallas because I just switched jobs and I was down in Dallas for a training back in 17. And I was like, I think I'm going to go buy some of this crypto stuff. And that was kind of like me getting feet wet.
What was the catalyst to it, Twinkie? What happened?
Like price performance on Ethereum. Just catch it in the news, like the whole like early day FOMO type stuff. Do I have a quick chart here? Yeah, this will do it. Let me do a quick share here.
This stream is brought to you by Gorilla Mind.
I'm Coke Zero and Fiji water over here tonight. I'm trying to behave myself before we get into the holiday weekend in full swing.
Yeah. You got a chart you want to pull up, Twinkie?
Yeah. I just want to quickly narrate some stuff. So this is weekly on S&P 500, and what I'm going to call out here is if you look at some of these V-shaped recoveries, right? Like here's kind of 19, 16, obviously Corona crash, and hey, this pattern's looking kind of similar too with this crazy V-shaped recovery. So let me see if I can do a quick layer in on this one. We're doing it live, kids.
Stream before July 4th.
Yeah, let me go with a new price scale. Is that right? No. Does not have all the relevant.
Born in the winter. While you look that up, Twinkie, I'm gonna look at that, man.
Yeah.
Man. Bull market horn, megaphone, correct. You know what I'm saying, shout out to you, man. We'll get it here, man.
Yeah, let me go with.
Ricky Romero,
cool.
Also planning to join the Citadel soon. What can I expect? Do you guys help with an exit strategy? The community will help you with an exit strategy. Twinkie's always on there, man. I wish I could fucking always be on there texting as well, but I'm always fucking driving, dude.
Cool. All right. This will be good enough for me to just kind of like fly through. So you had, particularly if we look at that patterning here with this crazy V-shaped drop and then ground up to late year for the S&P 500. So I got the Bitcoin chart down here. You can just kind of follow along, grind up. There's that first peak, pull back, second peak. We'll see if we get a similar pattern over here. Had this drop, it's grinding and climbing up. We're pretty steadily on this grinding glide path for Bitcoin. So I'm not going to sit here and necessarily put a price projection, although my personal market range as of this moment, 150 to 200K. I'd say over the next 5 to 6 months is kind of my personal range is what I'm looking at right now. So I'll continue to watch aspects of the S&P and for other folks too. Like I'm always looking at kind of just eyeballing in the background, Bitcoin price, what's going on chain, what's kind of the volume and like, and certainly I'm listening to guys like Boogie, guys over at DGen Roundtable, Charlie Miguel, just trying to see if I see common threads in there. And I don't see any reason to be bearish at this point in time.
And it's all about the confluence, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not saying we're not going to have dips and pullbacks, but overall, I don't see any reason to be bearish at this stage of the market.
Yeah, exactly. So, Twinkie, let's go into something fun, bro. Let's go over to Sui, sure. Bro.
Yeah. It's been a runner.
I told you, go ahead, Twinkie.
I was going to say, like, Raoul Paul allegedly, right, this is what he's claiming, has moved the majority of his funds that he had in Solana over to Sui.
Oh, has he?
Said that a while back. I think he said he's put like 70% of his holdings from Solana into Sui.
I mean, Well, I mean, you are going to make a lot more money. I think Sui's probably going to go up to 20, $30, give or take, bro.
Yeah, I think it's tremendous opportunity.
It's got potential. So this is not the usual Sui chart I show you, monkeys, but this is the little fucking, not the long that I did, but I bought Sui down here, and I went ahead and I did some measurements using an Elliott wave. And of course, you guys can follow along. Not financial advice. Fucking, you will get wrecked. Mind you, I did get it down here, bro, at about 259, give or take. And I estimated using fucking using the Fibonacci tool and Elliott wave that we should come up over here up to about 347, bro. I'll probably be selling around 340, 341, give or take. And then in hopes, where it does stop and it does top out, I'll go ahead and measure to the downside as to where the possibility will be, and where it'll go to the fourth portion of the Elliott wave. That's a little swing I'm doing. And one of the reasons I decided to do it too is because I'm seeing that this awesome oscillator is starting to want to reverse. Now, mind you, there is still negative data on Sui as far as the EMA ribbon goes. So it is a little bit of a fucking gamble. And mind you, even though it doesn't play out the way I want it to play out, I still got Sui at a good price. But I put in about $500. And as per EMA ribbon, this is the first fucking obstacle course that we didn't need to compromise on the daily, and my hopes were that we'd get here about 305, bro. You can see we're battling to the upside. I'm glad that we at least beat the 200 moving average, the 200 EMA, and we're using it as a rest zone, and I'm hoping we can rocket ship off that. I'll take you guys momentarily to the Sui chart, but as far as this goes, Bill Williams Alligator does seem like it wants to fucking flip to the upside. Now, mind you, when you use a Bill Williams Alligator, you never use it in a portion like this to where it's kind of like oscillating sideways. You want to be in a trend. But me, I'm deciding to take a little bit more risk as per the data I'm getting on the awesome oscillator versus the fucking the doggone alligator, if anything. Now, mind you, cats, you're like, where the fuck are you getting this shit, Boogie? I got it from a book called Chaos Trading, and it is by Bill Williams. He's one of the guys that Charlie likes to follow, man. He's one of the great minds of technical analysis. Difficult book to read, bro, but nevertheless, bro, it is pretty damn mind-blowing. I would advise you that if you decide to read the book, have ChatGPT next to you, bro, so it can help you explain some certain things, because, of course, a book can't talk back to you, but ChatGPT can. So that's a great tool, and that's what I like to use. So now, going back to the Sui chart that I usually show you, monkeys, this is where we're at right now, and it seems that we're at about day number 12 of its fucking 20-day cycle, because usually it runs on 20-day cycles. I could run the risk of it topping out here around day 14, which would be around July 6th, or bottoming July 14, because it does seem that the current high that we did get was here on fucking July 3rd, which is pretty much today when we got that wick to the top side. But if it does end up fucking dipping, it could end up dipping. That could have been the high today, and we could continue dipping to the downside, or we could end up going all the way up to day 21, which would put us around July 13th. Nevertheless, I do think fucking Sui is not at a bad price if you're holding for the top of the bull run, man. Still got plenty of run to go. It's still got plenty of room to go to the upside. EMA ribbon, of course, I showed you, cats. We do have that resistance point. But let's look at it on the weekly. Let's see how it looks like on the weekly, if anything. Let me turn off all my pretty drawings, see what resistance points I am seeing. First area, difficult point that we do need to compromise would be over here at this point at about $3.37. Because if I draw something up here, this would be an area of resistance. If I draw it up right now, you can't see all my drawings are going to pop back up. But that would be the first area where we can face some resistance. And then the second area would be here at about 355. So you could argue that you could draw a box there of resistance, give or take. That would be my resistance box. That would be difficult to compromise, if anything. Let's make that sucker white.
I want to drop acid, Boogie, while you chart. It's very colorful.
You want to...
It's just an idea.
I get it, man. It's the fair value gaps, man, that make it look that way, bro.
Yeah. No worries, right? But like, I know when I was first embracing aspects of TA, right? It's like, oh my God, so many symbols, pictures and whatever. And then over time, your brain will just learn to filter out like whatever particular thing you're trying to focus on. I mean, some of my charts aren't really, any cleaner or neater. It's like shit everywhere, lines everywhere, color bands everywhere, like 27 indicators on as I'm like experimenting with different ideas. What's interesting to me is I appreciate, shout out to Charlie, is breaking down. We can debate, I think, aspects of indicators and systems, and certain ones are better for like trending conditions versus shopping conditions. But try price, time, momentum, trend. And so Boogie and I were talking the other night. I was like, I'm kind of like playing around with the idea of maybe I need a couple indicators in each category that I'm looking for some level of confluence. And so like time, we talk about 60-day cycles, 20-day cycles. You might argue there's a general cycle count, and then maybe I need to further embrace notions of like Fibonacci time sequences or whatever else. But actually, Boogie, while you were talking about Sui, that triggered something over here that I probably left off of my fundamental research list. So we can do it hot, we'll do it live. Let me just kind of pull this one up real quick. This is another one of my kind of background tools and spots I will hop in on. This is CryptoRank.io, one of my other kind of like go-to sites when I'm doing assorted research on some different aspects of fundamentals and on-chain. In this case, we know Sui is one of the heavy VC, let's say, backed chains and the like. I think it'll continue to do very well this cycle, and we'll see what the next cycle ultimately holds on it. Obviously, there's some big money going through, but one of the things that I periodically look at too is unlock schedules. And so 34, we'll call it 1/3 of the supply is unlocked. What would give me a little bit of pause and like make me go, hey, need to figure this out more. A little over half of this unlock schedule is untracked according to CryptoRank. Now, maybe they don't have the data. Maybe the data is not public, but it would make me very, very curious. And so you can do this for any token where they have listed and they potentially have the unlock schedule being tracked over here. And if you need like a chart, you can kind of come down here and you can kind of start to visualize, okay, it's unlocking something like, a 0.5% every month or whatever it ends up being. Yeah, no problem. I'll keep moving. So I know, okay, they've got the community reserves over here, and this is kind of the progress on it. And then stake subsidies, they just wrapped up the Series A unlock. So the Series A unlock looks like it could wind up, in our faces if people haven't already sold off. Series B unlock is going to run into, let's say, Q2 of next year. And then you just got other aspects of different unlock schedules. So again, this is CryptoRank.io. I use it for assorted background research as I am navigating some aspects of this. They also have different aspects of, some of it is paywalled, but like analytics. So you get some different heat maps on some stuff you can take a look at, as well as broad overviews, markets. I typically go in and I want to eyeball the vesting side of things whenever I'm looking at this. So I'm just really interested in the overall unlock schedule for this stuff. Let's see. Large asking, is Sui burning? You know what? I don't have much of a Sui position. I honestly don't know. I got to threw a small gamble on it. Based on some conversations I've had with Boogie and some other folks. That's a really good question. I would need to poke around. Let me ask the interwebs, since, if I read on the internet, it must be true.
Thank you, Twinkie. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no problem. But that's one of my go-to ones. I don't see anything directly stating it, but I'm guessing there's either like a dead address, like a pseudo address large, like the 00, 0x00 address some of us use on the Ethereum network and similar, where you just dump tokens to a wallet, like or an incorrect address that will never be recovered or used. Good question.
Yeah, I remember, Twinkie, when Coin Bureau actually talked about fucking Sui launching, and I was like, dog, should I put money into it? And he was hyping it, and I was like, dog, should I put money into it? And I probably would have made some good bank, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, coulda, woulda, shoulda, man. There's always, it's crypto, right? There's always something pumping. There's always some missed opportunity, and there's always another one right around the corner.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
Actually, let me pull up this one too, real quick over here. Artemis is one I will use for different flows, but sometimes I like to eyeball on-chain metrics. And so let me just kind of quickly and this is not stuff I do all the time for, anyone who's tuning into it. I just kind of periodically eyeball this stuff. So it's like a kind of a curiosity. So what you have over here, the purple line, this is the overall price performance, and the yellow line is daily active addresses. And so what do we see? Well, we see there's a somewhat of a correlation more recently with a price bump up and the daily active addresses. What's interesting over here too is, in the tail end of this, it was price was trending downward, addresses moved upward, and then, a month, 6 weeks later, you saw this big run up in price performance. And then as soon as active addresses fell off a cliff, right? Basically cut in half, price started grinding down. Now active addresses shot up, right? Let's see where it was. It was at 387,000, 330,000. So daily active addresses just, tripled in the last few days.
That's some good data right there, man.
Yeah. So these are some of the deeper back pocket things. Again, this is not, for me, it's not a daily first pass stuff. This is if I want to take a deeper look at something, I'll start diving into some of these metrics and data points.
Yeah, that's some good shit right there, bro.
Bam, now you guys know I'll throw some links in chat.
Boom. Now, Twinkie, I'm going to move forward to Sonic. Let's see. Sonic is still at a good price, man. Sonic is still at a fucking badass price, dude, if anything. Let me see, pull it up. Sui. Don't tell me I eliminated it. It's got to be here somewhere. Sui. Sonic. No, that's not it. Let me prep that.
Yeah, it's on the it's the old it's like the Sonic Gate IO chart if we use the same one, which has got all the old Phantom data merged into it.
Yeah, that's the one I'm using. I got to bring it up on my fucking chart thingy.
Yeah, no worries. So I know Andre's been a bit more active on Twitter more recently. And shout out to Tegan. He and I talk a lot about Sonic on this stuff. So actually, while you're pulling that up, Boogie, if you can just let me share my screen real quick, I'll just kind of narrate Andre's tweet here. So Andre talking about building on Sonic over here, and it was made easy 6+ months ago. Most performant EVM L1. I don't know anyone who's debating that. And he talks about Sonic database and Sonic virtual machine. Sub-second finality, so that's basically your transaction is booked to the chain. Scalable transaction per second, and 90% fee monetization. So that's potentially 90% of the gas and the going back to the protocol on Sonic. So a new Sonic client going live in the coming weeks. Account abstraction, dynamic fees, and gas subsidies. Here we go. Cool. Here's what he talks about is a new consensus with 2x speed and 68% memory reduction from the Sonic upgrades. So it's going to get even faster and overall more performant.
Dude,
Andre's the mad wizard.
Yeah, Sonic's going to do fucking fabulous, bro.
That team, Sonic's what DeFi should be.
And if you cats don't know, man, it's already gone live on fucking Coinbase. Finally.
Yeah. I know they wrapped up season 1 of all the booking for airdrops, and so I know people should be getting NFTs and different aspects of that. And season 2 of the rewards points airdrop program seems to be favoring more of the ecosystem coins, whereas season 1 I would say was probably more stable driven to bring value into the chain. Season 2 is shaping up to be more ecosystem token specific.
Should have built fucking ILV on Sonic, if anything, dude. We got YN Crypto Sonic.
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, Wine's been busy in a lot of chats lately. Good to see him rolling through. With respect to Sonic, right? It's super fast, it's super cheap, it's EVM. There's a lot of, I think. So I worked in software and medical informatics for a long time now. I was telling Boogie, something I coded up recently was actually going live this weekend. So just kind of watching that on the side, watching it do its thing. Yeah. It's all my design, my data, anyway. So I would not call myself a full-blown developer, but I know how to program some things. And the team that they've got on Sonic, it's very impressive, but also if you are familiar working in EVM environments, it's really a side grade lateral move. You don't have to relearn or learn a whole new language per se. And you can kind of apply and use the skills you already have and or relatively easy convert a lot of things. So I suspect, one, people are definitely going to want Sonic's tech for different things. And then two, we live in a multi-chain world, right? And what's going to end up happening is I can see stuff like, oh, this portion of this process, like when I do certain things at work, there's certain tools I use because it's better and faster. No different than when you're charting, right? Certain things you do in TradingView, certain things in Deck Screener. We have different on-chain analytics like EtherScan or SoulScan or whatever else. You go to certain locations and use certain tools to handle certain things. I can foresee a world where certain things like farmed out to Pulse Chain, certain things are farmed out to Sonic because that it does that particular function better. And then it's merged back through different bridges and whatever over time. So we'll see how that holds true in the future. It could just be like, hey, something like Sonic is so technologically superior over time, just leaves everything else behind. But yeah, Sonic's killing it. Anyway, so yeah, Andre, big brain.
You know anything more high speed than Sonic, Twinkie?
Not in practice, right? So like when I say in practice, I mean like number of validators, deployments available online running today, actively utilized, has some reasonable level of TVL? No.
Nothing, right?
Nothing I can think of off the top of my head.
Wow, man. So, and if you really think about it, Sonic is actually newer than Sui.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure Andre and team have a bunch of stuff like that they're just not talking about and they've been sitting on because keeping like, I don't know if people are familiar with aspects of the history. They had like 5+ different iterations of the Sonic tech behind closed doors. They rolled out a partial upgrade to Phantom just to, I guess, make it more snappy. And I'm sure like from an engineering standpoint, when I work on some of that stuff, when I do stuff like that, I'm doing it as kind of like a test case. Like, okay, it's going to be like limited deployment because I want to see how certain things work. Like it's worked in the lab. Cool. And then we keep the really good shit for later on. So I suspect that's what they did with Phantom, where they did some level of like minor to moderate uplift, and they left all the really good shit for Sonic. And now we're starting to get into like, okay, cool. Like we just, blew past everyone on the track. Now we're going to hit the NOS and let it rip.
I remember they were talking about bringing Sonic to the United States, bro, if anything.
Yeah.
They were talking about it, and I haven't heard any other data on it. That would be fucking gangster if they did, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We'll see what's up, but very impressive. Like, just what a great user experience that chain has been so far.
Yeah, for the most part.
Also, shout out $24, man. You've been getting me paid. We appreciate it.
That fucking $24. All right, man. Moving on to the Sonic chart. I got it right this time. So Sonic right now is still at a fabulous price. I was at work the other day, and one of my homies, he's like, "Hey, Boogie, what should I buy?" And I'm like, "Buy Sonic, dude." I told him, you got to buy the 3 S's, man. Sonic, Solana, Sui. He's like, I don't know, bro. And then it came down to about 28 cents, bro. I caught it here at about 28 cents. I tried buying at 27 and I caught it at 28. And then it ended up doing the pump that it did. And he's like, dude, is Sonic still good at 30 cents, 31 cents? Like, fuck yeah, it's still at a fabulous price, man. And we're on day 12 of its cycle, if anything, with Sonic, man. Now, that's what it seems for now from the data that I do have, man, because it's a little bit confusing, man. That fucking Iran incident really fucked things up, man. So it may be that we're on day 29 or it may be that we're on fucking day 13, bro, if anything. Because if I do pull up the former 60-day cycle on it, you're talking about it will be a 76-day cycle, man, which is a little bit of an oddball. For the most part, Sonic's been running on 60-day cycles consistently this past year. But current value is at about 32 cents. Awesome Oscillator still has us negative, but it seems that we're starting to trend to the upside, bro, before we flip the -0 and go into positive. EMA ribbon is probably bearish. Let me check. It is bearish, so it does have a little bit of a battle. Let's see if we do compromise past this area of about 38 cents, because that's where it does need to go to. If EMA ribbon is bearish, that would likely tell me that Bill Williams alligator is starting to oscillate sideways. It does seem like it wants to flip to the upside, but right now, nevertheless, bro, Sonic is still at a good price. It's at a good price. It'll probably start trending in an upward fashion on a later date. Bollinger Bands. As per the Bollinger Bands, we can come revisit that 26 cents level, and I'm assuming if we would come down there, it would be on a wick. And it would not surprise me if we do that because we do have a fair value gap right here on the daily. And I won't bother you guys too much with fair value gaps, but we have this big ass gap here, and it may be that it's magnetic towards it. So I would say yes, it's a possibility we could end up dipping, bro. Get a little bit more fucking Sonic, but nevertheless, right now is a great time to DCA. On the weekly, what am I seeing here on the weekly? Let's turn off all my pretty fucking drawings here. And on the weekly, we do have a couple of battles that we do need to compromise in the immediate, in the weekly time frame at least. First one would be around here, bro, at about 54 cents. No, I take it back, down here at about 48 cents. I see these two candle fucking shoulders right here at this area. It would be at about 48 cents. And the next battle we would have would be the harder battle, which would be at about 52 cents to 54 cents. But nevertheless, I am bullish for Sonic. If you look at the awesome oscillator for Sonic, bro, it seems that we have not bottomed on the awesome oscillator, bro. So it may be that winter feeds that you were talking about, Twinkie, that they're still dumping a little bit.
I think they're mostly out, right? And I'm sure there's some momentum, but I'm honestly not that concerned with it. Again, like if you kind of just, that's a perfect view. If you just kind of hold that there for a split second, you can see like long-term trend. It's okay. It's definitely had some solid chop, but we put in the bottom, and overall, it looks like we're generally printing higher lows.
Yeah. Let me check this, bro. See if I can find. Let me invert this shit. Usually I do this, guys, not on live because I want to see if I'm wrong or not. I'm inverting the chart, of course. See if I find an inverse Elliott wave here. Fuck. It may be that we're done with 3, or we're approaching the end of 3 while we do 4 and 5. Mind you, this is inversed, cats. Let me go regular. So, I'm sure you can see that, Twinkie, right?
Yeah.
So 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4.
And so for anyone following along too, sometimes if you invert the chart, you'll see patterns you don't necessarily see when it's in, let's say right side up. There's just certain things that jump out at you. Like the pattern hasn't changed. You just changed how you're looking at it.
Yeah, exactly. Let me see if I could take some of my drawings down. Oh, fuck. Don't tell me I did that. Indicators, positions, no. So you see what I'm trying to show you, cats, is it may be that we're finishing our downside Elliott wave before we start breaking to the upside. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can get this a different color so you guys can see it a little bit better. Maybe I can go with red color. Let's go with red.
You're picking the two colorblind colors.
Yeah, I guess. So I'd have to review this one more time. I'd have to bring this over here, and then I have to measure 0 to 1 compared to 2 to 3. Or it may be, Twinkie, like I did state earlier, that we're not done with our 3. So 3 could possibly come down lower. You know what I'm saying? And
so you're thinking 5-wave down instead of like ABC corrective?
Yeah. So I would have to do some fib retracements on this shit, and I don't want to bore everybody while we're live. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
no worries. Let's see. I want to acknowledge a comment there by Ramirez. Sonic Pump, hey man, like just need stuff to pump. Overall, many of us would like it to pump, but you got anything on the chart, Boogie? Otherwise, I got some background info relative to Sonic too. I can pull up.
Let me take this down.
Yeah, cool. Again, let me hop back over to Artemis. And again, sometimes as I'm doing deeper dives on stuff, I'm just trying to get a sense of like health of certain things or whether or not I potentially want to take a position. So I know I've talked with Tegan about this on the side. This is, again, Artemis Terminal. And so you can filter some different stuff and take a look at like just sort of different metrics. What I'm really interested in is top net flows. And this lets me know where money is generally moving. Green is positive, red is negative on certain things. So if I'm down here, I can go in like punch in Sonic, right? And Sonic's got a positive net flow of 1.3 billion. But let me just kind of take that year to day just to get a little bit more of you see if that like largely jives. And still, it's about 1.3 billion. Interesting. ETH has got a positive net flow this year. This is on the year to date of about, 7.5 billion. So roughly $1.3 billion worth of value has flowed into the Sonic chain year to date. If I want to kind of eyeball what more recent movements have been doing, I might take that down to like, okay, what's been going on over the last month? Okay, slight negative outflow in the context of the month. Again, year to date, still wildly positive. However, in the context of the month, last month, slight outflow. Context of the last 7 days, 3.5 million. Okay. Context of the last day. Not enough information at this point in time. So overall, I'm not too worried about Sonic, given that it just has tremendous positive overall net inflow. Sure, it's been like 3.5 in the last 7 days, so some level of outflow over the last 7 days. One might argue, hey, like ETH is going apeshit over the last 7 days. Look at all that money flowing in there. Some level of money into Solana, Soy, and some other chains over here. But overall, I'm not too worried about Sonic at this stage of the game. If anything, I think it's still a buying opportunity personally.
Yeah, and hopefully we do get a little bit more of a dip so we can get a little bit more fucking Sonic, dude. I do need to buy. I'd like to throw in maybe about $3,000 more if I could scrounge it up. I'm saying into Sonic.
Yeah. Boogie, like, I don't know, sell a kidney. It doesn't have to be yours,
Yeah, I know. All right, monkeys. Main fragrance of the day is Terry Mugler. I'm going to take the spotlight for this one, Twinkie. Terry Mugler, freaking Ultra Zest. You can see that I've got this much left in there, man. This smells like a fucking orange, not a popsicle, an orange creamsicle. That's what it smells like, man. Great for the summer, bro. It's great fragrance. Only setback, it's discontinued, monkeys, and it's not cheap. So no, don't buy it now. Buy it at the top of the bull run, bro, because this shit is fucking fire and it'll last a long ass time, dude. Great for the beach, bro. Great for daytime fucking environments. Probably one of my favorite ones for the daytime, bro. It's a real fun fragrance. I like it a lot. It's really bright, and I've gotten a lot of compliments on it. You can see I've gone to town on this bad boy, man. Now, you monkeys are probably wondering what it's run for and where you can get it at. Don't buy it now. I'm being redundant, cats. Don't buy it now. Wait to the top of the bull run, and let me show you. Let me show you what it runs for, bro. It's almost the cost of a fucking Glock, if anything, bro. $429, $404, $519, $349, $444, bro. So there you monkeys go. As stated, do not buy it now. It is discontinued, bro, and that's why it's running for all that it is. Top of the bull run. Get yourself 2 or 3, man, with all the gains you make from fucking your Sonic bags. So fire fragrance, highly recommended if you got the dinero. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Largest saying selfie picks to fund it.
Yeah, tell me about it, man. Why ain't Chris? Damn, yeah, top of the bull run it is. Hey, dude, this fragrance is fucking fire, bro. I got a lot of. I don't know if it's worth that much for fucking compliments, dude, but hey, it's a damn good fragrance. You live in a bigger city, bro, like Miami, nobody's gonna smell like you. You rocking something like this, man. Especially during the daytime. Terry Mugler always used to make the best fragrances out there. Moving forward to Hex. See how motherfucking Hex is doing. Oh, and do me a favor, monkeys. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel. I've got Twinkie's fucking data here at the bottom. Make sure you subscribe to this channel as well, man. All his socials are on there, man. I've got 49 people here in the fucking chat. I'd like to get 49 likes at least. And make sure you monkeys subscribe to the channel. Moving on to Hex, which is at a great buying value right now. We talked about it last time that we went live. Hex right now is at a value of about 50% of a penny. If you were to drop $1,000 on Hex right now, how much would we get? We would get about 191,681 coins, give or take, ballpark, which is not bad. Not bad at all. But let me turn off this EMA ribbon. I may be seeing something here. Vamos a ver. Maybe my eyes are serving me incorrect. Correct? Let's see. No. Well, yeah, it would explain why this is happening, Twinkie. Since we were looking at fucking Head and Shoulders. See that right there?
Okay, I see the argument for it. Like, yep.
Yeah, and then to top it off, look at what we're getting right here, man. And I know Hex people don't want to hear this, man, or Hexicans don't want to hear this, but hey, man, it's a buying opportunity if you want to throw some dinero at it. You got this trend line coming from here to here, and then you've got a bearish pennant printing, bro, which indicates more dip inbound for Hex. That's what we're getting. We got the inverse fucking Head and Shoulders, and we got a bearish pennant, which means we could end up breaking down a little bit more. So if it does come lower, you probably can get T-shares for a little bit cheaper, man.
Yeah, right now it's dancing. It's dancing with a 20-day moving average.
Is it?
Yeah. I feel like I don't know if you got Bollinger's on your chart, but it's basically playing around with the 20-day moving average right now.
Yeah, it's right under. I think I'd have to really. I think we're slightly above it. Awesome Oscillator does say that we do want to flip to the top side, man. Let me see if I got my 60-day count on this one, dude, because fucking that Iran attack really fucked up my numbers, dude.
Well, that's kind of like a pseudo Black Swan event ish. Like I wouldn't say full blown personally, but definitely not positive in and of itself unless you were buying into it. RSI on the daily is generally trending up though since June 21st. Yeah,
we're on day numero 27 of a 60-day cycle, bro. So I don't know, man. If that was day one, if this was day one here, bro, and this would probably put us around day 5, we probably got a lot more dip, dude, especially if we run all the way into day 45. Day 45, you're talking about maybe July 22nd, give or take, bro. If we go 60 days, you're talking about August 5th. So around July 22nd to August 5th, man, you should be getting a big-ass fucking buying opportunity so you guys can get some more T-shares. Now, mind you, cats, it's when things are down, bro, that you make more money, man. I remember fucking Phantom was at about 16 cents, bro. Nobody wanted to buy it. And look where it's at now. It's now Sonic. Turned from an ugly duckling to a fucking goose, to a fucking swan. I'm sorry. Not a goose. But that's where Hex is right now, giving you guys the fucking raw data on this. Bollinger Bands are indicating that we could come down here to about 45% of a penny. If I put it on the weekly, see what the Bollinger Bands say. Let me turn off all these pretty lines. We could come down to about 21% of a penny on the Bollinger Bands. Historically, I don't think that's ever happened before, but I don't know if it'll go down that low, Twinkie. I think it can hold here, bro. At least at fucking 37% of a penny. If it goes 37% of a penny, I'm going to have to back up the truck, bro. Buy a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Got anything major on that one you want to add? I just got a couple minor things. Cool. All right, let me pull up a couple of things or a handful of things that just jump out at me on the Hex chart. And if I can figure out too many bloody buttons.
I feel you, man.
Just kind of eyeballing this. Again, this is Hex on Pulse Chain on this. So this longer blue line is since Pulse Chain inception. I'm on the weekly. So you can see over here, actually, it's held up above this trend line, right? So we seem to have some level of support here. The secondary line I recently drew, a side note, sometimes I'll toggle to the line chart just to try to remove a little bit of the noise in some of the candle movements.
Yeah.
So over here, though, is you can see, again, respecting this trend line so far. So we've got this long-term trend line since inception where we are okay above loosely, right? Yeah. And then you've got this more recent trend line that we're respecting as well. So kind of bounce off this, retest, and seems like potentially it's upward and onward. Let me pull up that RSI I mentioned earlier. That's on the weekly. Let me flip over to the daily and get this toolbar out of the way. So you can see over on the RSI too, we've got this overall uptrend.
So it's, it needs to get past that 50 point level. You know what I'm saying?
And let me flip over to this one. Shout out to the Hex Stats Today crew over here. Again, we're looking at Pulse Chain for today's conversation. T-share rate, 41,719. I think the last time we talked about it was 41,400. So continues to ratchet up. So if I take a look at this, 41,719, and let me hop back over to here. We'll go with 41,719, $217 to get yourself a T-share.
That's what it's at right now.
217.64.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna buy some more, bro. Once it dips a little bit more, if it does, if it does go to the bottom trend line you're showing us there, Twinkie, that's gonna be one hell of a buy. Can you go back to that chart, Twinkie? And
yeah, sure.
Will take us at roughly ballpark.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Let me pull that back up. So it'll be like a 20, 23, 25% discount if we come back to that lower trend line.
Yeah, 38. That would put us at about what? 38% of a penny, give or take.
Yep.
Ballpark. There goes the defense system, Twinkie.
Yeah. Much appreciated, right? Like he lets them know what's up.
So
I've seen a lot of people think twice about whatever they were doing.
yeah, exactly. Large and in charge, going on 2 hours. Smash the like button, subscribe, share, and leave a comment on the chat, monkeys. Make sure you monkeys do that. Subscribe to the channel, man. Twinkie, where can we find you at, homie?
Yeah, at Mr. Angry Twinkie. I mentioned before I was dealing with a stalker issue, but that seems to be successfully resolved.
I'm glad.
Yeah. You and I both, man. At Mr. Angry Twinkie, certainly Telegram is a good spot to find me. I'm always floating through the DGen Roundtable chat, Citadel chat, Crypto Mindset chats. Twitter, I'm pretty active on Twitter, doing a lot of research on that stuff. Occasionally you find me on YouTube, solo streaming or streaming on my channel. And certainly, generally once a week, you'll find me over here on Boogie's channel for this very show you're watching here. How about yourself, Boogie? Where can the people find you?
You monkeys can find me here, US_Crypto_Boogie on YouTube. Same thing on Twitter. Same thing on Instagram, man. For Rumble, just Crypto_Boogie monkeys. That's the easiest way you guys can get a hold of me over there. I do intend to continue releasing on Rumble for the reason being that if things go south here on YouTube, we've always got that option. And Rumble is a growing platform. You know what I'm saying? People like the likes of Fresh and Fit, Pearl Davis, man, Nick Fuentes, Nico, freaking everybody else, man. That's even Alex Jones, bro, is over there, dude. So it would lead me to believe that eventually Rumble will end up taking the lion's share of fucking social media accounts, if anything, dude. So yeah, monkeys, make sure you monkeys like the video, again, being redundant, and I will catch you monkeys on the flip side.